Today, we'll be talking about Hailie Deegan and decide if she should move up to the NASCAR Xfinity Series in 2024 or not. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. Coming into the 2023 season, a lot of people, including myself, felt like there was going to be a lot of potential for Hailie Deegan. First thing, she was going to be joining a new team in 2023 as she would be joining ThorSport Racing, a team just 2 years ago that won the championship with Ben Rhodes. And in 2022, two of their trucks made it to the Final Four, that being Ben Rhodes and Ty Majeski. Also coming into the 2023 season, Hailie Deegan had a championship caliber crew chief joining her, that being Rich Lucas, who won the championship with Ben Rhodes in 2021. So there was a lot of hype around her going into the 2023 season. And so far in 2023, it has not gone very well for her. In 2023 and 10 or 11 starts, she's only had one top 10, and that's a 6th place at Texas Motor Speedway, and so far has a 20.9 average finish. But I don't want to say this all because she's been performing horrendously in every start. There's been a lot of races here where she should have finished a lot better. In the opening race at Daytona, she was involved in a crash in early portions of that race. She had a top 10 truck or a car, the truck that could have easily won the race, and she got involved in a wreck because of that. Then in Las Vegas, running around 10th or 15th, getting acclimated to their truck, and she unfortunately got involved in a wreck. I know Rich Lucas said that she needed to be a little more aggressive, but she unfortunately was acclimated to the truck, and she ended up being involved in a wreck. The first take I feel like she made all year came at Austin, where she got into Caden Honeycutt. They were both competing for a top 5 finish. She was having a really strong run and had a top 5 truck at the end of that race. She made a mistake and still did rebound to finish in 16th. Then at Texas, like I said, she only scored her only top 10 of the season, almost got a top 5, but got beat on the last lap, but she did score a top 10. But then recently, she made some mistakes out on the racetrack at North Wilkesboro, where she unfortunately got into Dean Thompson. She was on bad tires, dropped all the way back. Because remember, she was in the top 10 or top 15 in the early portion of that race, but they made a bad strategy call that cost him a shot. Then at Charlotte, she was contending for a top 10 spot, and unfortunately, Zane Smith spun out, and she had nowhere to go and was collected by Zane Smith. And then most recently, she just got completely dumped straight up in the corner by Nick Sanchez going to turn number 3 and crashing the outside wall really, really hard. So when you think of the 2023 season, while you think it's been a terrible year for her, it's not been a good year, I'm not going to put full blame on Hailie Deegan. Has she been as fast as her teammates on the racetrack, like Ty Majeski, Ben Rhodes, and Matt Crafton at times? No, absolutely not. When something doesn't go wrong for her, she tends to run pretty solidly and pretty good. She's finished 12th at Kansas, which is pretty good, all things considered. She's had some top 15 and top 20 performances and has contended for top 10 runs and has shown some pretty good speed. But I'm also going to come to the defense for her because I feel like that she has been treated with a lot of disrespect out on the racetrack. And I know there's not a lot of people thought she was going to be a championship contender this year. I know a lot of people thinking she was going to run better. And like I said, she definitely has struggled in the truck series. So a lot of people think, oh, why would she move up to the NASCAR Xfinity series? Let's translate and talk about that. So in 2022, Hailie Deegan made her NASCAR Xfinity Series debut, driver SS Greenlight Racing, with Stewart-Haas Racing backing. And she actually was really impressive. She qualified in 20th place, which is not bad for in your debut. And she actually drove really a smart race, ended up finishing the top 15 in 13th place. And we've seen it time and time again over the years where drivers can perform better in Xfinity than they can at trucks. I personally don't feel like that the truck series right now is really the best place to breed ground for development, especially if how this series has become where drivers have no give and just take and take and take. We've seen so many wrecks in the truck series over the last few years, and there's a lack of respect out on the racetrack, and I feel like Hailie Deegan does not get treated with the most respect out on the racetrack. And I feel like that, yeah, she should have an opportunity to run some more Xfinity Series races in 2023. I also want to translate to other drivers who went to Xfinity and have done better than when they ran the trucks. First, let's talk about Ty Gibbs and Sammy Smith. Both drivers, before going to Xfinity, they never made any truck starts. They started ARCA, and Joe Gibbs brought him up to the NASCAR Xfinity Series. And look what Ty Gibbs did. He won in his first career Xfinity Series start, went on to win the Xfinity Series Championship in 2022. He's never made a truck series start. Sammy Smith made one truck series start, but that's, of course, after making several NASCAR Xfinity Series starts and being extremely competitive. He needed a bunch of truck starts to be competitive. He did very well in the NASCAR Xfinity Series and is a championship threat there. Let's look at Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson did not make his first truck start until 2008. He already had won 2 championships up to this point. And Jimmy Johnson set seat in Cup Series before he even got to Xfinity as well. Did a great job in the Cup Series. There's other drivers, though, that I feel like have done a really good job. Derek Cross is another example. Derek Cross had struggled in the truck series and he did a really good job in the select starts he's had for Kaulig Racing. Kaulig Racing isn't the greatest team in the world, and yet we've seen Derek Kraus show a lot of potential in the select Xfinity Series starts with Kaulig Racing. And I think some other recent drivers who've come up, Harrison Burton and Noah Gragson. Harrison Burton was not that good in the Truck Series and failed to win a race. The first series in the Xfinity Series, albeit it was with Joe Gibbs Racing, he ended up scoring 4 wins in that season and almost made it to the Championship 4. Had he not wrecked at Talladega, he would have been a Championship 4 contender. And Noah Gragson only got 2 or 3 Truck Series wins. He went on in 2022 and won like 7 or 8 NASCAR Xfinity Series races. And to be perfectly honest, he probably should have won the Xfinity Series title. And I think about some other recent examples. Carson Osavar. Carson Osavar always been really good in trucks. In the select Xfinity Series starts, I think he's been more impressive than that than he's been in the Truck Series because he's driving a Spire car, albeit they do have Junior Motorsports backing. But still, he's been really impressive there. And of course, you think about Nick Sanchez. Nick Sanchez, in my honest opinion, I think he's a driver who's better than what he's showing. I know he dumped Hailie Deegan recently, but still, he basically showed a lot of talent in big machine racing and probably should be in the NASCAR Xfinity Series full time. My point is that some driver styles are better than others, and I think the Xfinity Series would genuinely fit Hailie Deegan a lot better than the Truck Series would. And I'm very surprised that Ford has not put her in more Xfinity Series starts. There are rides available in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. You've got teams like RSS Racing, and of course, you do have the SS Greenlight 08 car that is also available as well. And SHR could definitely work with them to give her some starts. So my question is, do I think she move up to the NASCAR Xfinity Series in 2024? Yes, absolutely. So let's discuss about potentially where she'd go, because there's not a lot of places that are going to be available. Obviously, Ford executive Mark Rushbrook has said they're going to evaluate how she did in 2023 and make a decision for 2024. They need to get her out of the Truck Series. She's not learning in it. I know she could be running better in the Truck Series, no doubt about it, but she's not learning in the NASCAR Truck Series, and I think she needs to move up to Xfinity Series because I think she'll do a lot better learning in that series than she's currently doing in the NASCAR Truck Series. Let's go to the teams that could be available for her heading into 2024. First, obviously, Stewart-Haas Racing. Now, Stewart-Haas Racing currently has Cole Custer and Riley Herbst driving for the team. There's been a lot of rumors about Riley Herbst's future. Obviously, Riley Herbst has made a couple NASCAR Cup Series starts so far. Has been pretty decent in those select NASCAR Xfinity Cup starts, I should say, that he ran, including the Daytona 500, where he finished in the top 10. We could see Riley Herbst full-time potentially next year, especially with his sponsorship and funding. Cole Custer could also move back up to the Cup Series. I don't know what SHR is going to do around Cole Custer to move him back up, but he could obviously and easily move up to the Cup Series heading into the 2024 season. But this is not 100% likely, but this could be a potential ride. Next, let's talk about a team that she made her debut with, and that is SS Greenlight Racing. I don't think they have an alliance anymore with Stewart-Haas Racing, but I think if they gave her an opportunity in that 08 car heading into the 2024 season, I think she could do a really good job, especially if Stewart-Haas Racing is backing her up. Plus, she's got sponsorship and funding, and I think she could have a pretty solid season in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and I believe that she would get driven with a lot more respect in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. So this could be a potential possibility for heading into 2024. The third team I'm going to mention is RSS Racing. RSS Racing tends to run 3, even sometimes 4. They're going to run 4 cars this weekend in the NASCAR Xfinity Series at Sonoma. Easily, she could ride one of those rides. She's got sponsorship and funding, and she could drive the 39 car, the 38 car, the 20, or the 29 cars, and I think would do pretty good. I know RSS Racing has kind of struggled so far in the 2023 season, but I feel like they've had a full-time driver like Hailie Deegan. I think they would do much better. And then the final team I'm going to mention is AM Racing. This, of course, is Austin Wayne Sells' family organization. AM Racing is a new team in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and we could see them expand heading into the 2024 season. And, of course, they have a big backing with also Stewart-Haas Racing. They get a lot of their equipment and parts from Stewart-Haas Racing. We've seen AM Racing in their first season as a team. We've seen them run really well. But I think a lot of that does have to do with the fact how good of a driver Brett Moffitt is. If they were to expand, and it could potentially be possible where they do end up expanding, I could see Hailie Deegan easily going there heading into 2024. But the big thing is what Ford is going to want to do. You can see other teams open up with Ford. You can see RFK Racing and back to the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and maybe they bring that program back. And maybe Team Penske, they try to open their Xfinity Series program up, and they go ahead and try to bring her in. So like I said, my question is, should she move up to the NASCAR Xfinity Series in 2024? Yes, absolutely. I think Hailie Deegan right now is not learning anything racing in a truck series, and I personally think she is wasting time. And like I said, the fact that Ford is not giving her an opportunity and not giving her a chance and a shot to run in the NASCAR Xfinity Series and make more starts there is kind of frustrating and absolutely ridiculous. I get that Ford is having a difficult time trying to find where they want to put her, but I think that if you moved her up to the NASCAR Xfinity Series, she would do a lot better. Now, there aren't as many competitive cars in the Xfinity Series as the Truck Series, but the Xfinity Series has been gaining much more competitive fields, and I think she would be a playoff contender in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. And like I said, she performed a lot better. I mentioned a lot of drivers and perfect examples of drivers who had done better, who didn't have to go and run the Truck Series, and they instantly performed a lot better. So yes, I think she needs to move up the Xfinity Series in 2024. It's been frustrating watching the Truck Series. She do better in Xfinity, and I really hope that Ford makes a decision and a call to move her up in 2024. There's probably conversations going on behind the scenes, and hopefully that she gets a shot and an opportunity. Now, my prediction is it will come down to either SS Greenlight Racing with SHR backing or potentially RSS Racing, because they're going to need backing and sponsorship if they're going to want to have her around. I'd imagine that's the most likely places for her to go, but anything's possible and nothing's off the table, because long term, I could see her in a Cup Series car because she needs to succeed, and she needs to definitely move up, and NASCAR needs her in the Cup Series long term, and Ford's definitely looking at that, and she's also got plenty of time. She's not going to be out of the NASCAR anytime soon, so hopefully the Ford can figure out what they want to do with her going forward, but I think there's definitely a potential possibility for her to have an opportunity to run in NASCAR in the foreseeable future. So I hope she gets a shot, hope she gets an opportunity to move up full-time in Xfinity. Do we see it happen? Who knows at this point? But nonetheless, hopefully she'll move up to the NASCAR Xfinity Series in 2024. So, that is going to be today's NASCAR Xfinity Series and special video. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, and channel notifications on to notify when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Links description below over that, and comment your thoughts below on today's video. Do you believe that Hailie Deegan should move up to the NASCAR Xfinity Series or not in 2024? I personally think she should, but do you think she should move up the Xfinity Series in 2024? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I may have a second video up on the channel later today talking to me if there's any major news that breaks throughout the day. We'll have to wait and see. Then tomorrow on the channel is going to be NASCAR news video discussing news over the last couple of days. Then on Thursday, we're going to have race picks for the Cup Series race at Sonoma, Toyota Save Mark 350. Then on Friday, will be a NASCAR news video on the channel. And then, of course, we have a bunch of videos dropping on the channel. There's likely going to be a double upload day on the channel. Not sure what will come up on those days, but there's a lot of content dropping that I think you're going to enjoy. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.